Studios with your host, Justin Ninja Wilski.
And the following is a paid program. The advice and opinions expressed on the program are solely that of the Horicon School District and the City of Horicon, not necessarily WBEV or Good Karma Brands. Welcome in, everybody, to Taking Care of Business. We've got a full house on video today, so if you're watching, definitely recommend you tune in on our Facebook or YouTube, as you can see everybody that's on screen. I am joined immediately on my right by the continuing mayor of Horicon. And as we circle around the table, we got Katie, who's here with the school district, superintendent of the school district, and then we have a special guest. I'm going to try my best not to murder this last name. I only got the pronunciation recently, but Mike McCullovitz?
Correct.
All right,
Correct.
Joining us as well. Of course, we get you guys on every month, at least the two of you on every month, to talk about the things that are happening in around the Horicon School District, the City of Horicon, and of course the great partnership you guys have on. Let's start with reminding everybody again why you guys chose to do this show. Remind everybody what the point is here.
Go ahead.
Well, I like to say this every time. Now we're season 3, episode 8. And the main reason, it's a partnership from a lot of different partners in Horicon. You got the city, you got the school district, you got the Chamber of Commerce, you have the Marshman Foundation, who all ponied up for us to be able to kind of keep Horicon residents involved and updated. There's only so many people that look at Facebook. There's only so many people that jump on and actually go out and buy the newspapers anymore. But there's a lot of businesses in Horicon that have 95.3 running on during the day.
And we appreciate that, by the way.
I admit I even do too, and that's down in Madison. So I do listen to it down there because I enjoy these kinds of shows. And that's kind of the main reason we do this. I think this is a great partnership because the school district and the city have to work together. And got lucky that it's Rich and Katie. It makes it a lot easier for me to have two people with existing relationships. That makes this a much better partnership.
I will say, I think Rich Apple might be stalking me. I've seen him now at 2 or 3 different locations.
He moved to Beaver Dam. Watch out.
And he has made a point of whenever he sees me yelling across whatever place we're at, just ninja really loud. And, of course, my kids, I get really embarrassed anytime I get recognized in public. But I appreciate it. Thank you, Rich. Katie, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to say it's a great opportunity for us to share real-time information with people who are listening, people who are interested in what's going on in the communities. It gives us an opportunity to address a few things head-on and make sure that people can hear information from us directly. And it's a great opportunity for us to share great news about the good things that are happening in our communities.
Perfect. Well, let's kind of kick off getting that information out there to everybody. This month, we're starting off with a little bit of city information, I believe. So, Mayor Moss, you're up.
Yeah, everyone knows we had the election a week ago. The only thing that's really changed is we're going to have a new D3 alderperson, who is Dwayne Albinski, who also moonlights as the police chief for Fox Lake.
Okay.
And so next Tuesday, we have the reorganizational meeting, and that's the meeting where I get to assign people to each of the committees, as well as public appointments to committees as well. And I don't generally change stuff around too much, but we got to do a little bit of a, as they say, reorganizing this time, just due to the new faces. But then we move into, right away, the April 28th, regular first new council meeting with a brand new council. So we jump in and we get right to work. There's a lot of stuff going in town, so we just get at it.
When it comes to making those assignments into those committees, do people request certain committees, like I'd really like to be a part of? Or is it all based on you knowing your council people enough to say?
A little of both. There's a better chance where I might get a request saying I don't want to chair a committee because they're busy.
Right.
And then when you're a police chief, there's obviously some committees that fit better.
Right.
Or I try to take into account people's requests, but I've never changed the Personnel and Finance Committee setup. It's the right 3 people with the right background, even though I think everybody's qualified to do it. It just works with our city hall. And there isn't any committee that is more critical than another because they each have a very, specific function. But the Personnel and Finance one is the committee that's dollar signs are attached to it. And they approve, if it doesn't get past them, there's a better than average chance that it doesn't get to the full council. So that committee has to make a lot of those really difficult decisions up front. So that one, you take a little more consideration, but it's not just the committees that include the alder people. It also includes, new appointments to the Parks Board, which is people from the public, or the Goose Remediation Council. There's a bunch of other little councils in there, our Historical Society Committee. And, we try to put people into those spots who want to and have a particular field of expertise that could benefit the city. So, there is thought into it.
Makes a lot of sense. And that's good, because obviously if they want to be in those committees, they're going to do a little bit better of a job, right?
Yep.
Makes sense. The next topic you've got on your list is one we've kind of talked a little bit about before. I didn't realize we're getting ready for some groundbreaking on it, but go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, we're a little past the groundbreaking now on the new wastewater treatment plant, but I wanted to be able to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to be presented by Ehlers, who's like our public financing partner, on what the rates will be. So they've done all the calculations. We're going to get the rates presented to us, meaning me and the downtown folks, the city hall folks, on the 21st, with the anticipation that this goes to council on April 28th. We will have a public informational meeting on the 28th prior, but then we need to get those rates going, because every month you wait on those rates. We already know what the set cost is for this, so you wait on it, the more you got to put on. A couple of things we're excited about. They did approve our request to have the rates spread out over 5 years instead of, we saw what happened with Theresa. I mean, when they had to do it all at once, that is damaging. I mean, we're all residents.
Right.
Hell, if I want mine to go up double.
Right.
So with this, with the rate steps, we're able to, each year do the increases. Because when you put in I just want to remind everybody again, when you put in a wastewater treatment facility plant, it does not affect your property taxes. It's paid for through user fees, so your utility bill.
Right.
And we have, at least in Horicon here, we have 5 or 6 different line items on our utility bills. You have water, water fee, wastewater fee, garbage, and then there's something else on there too, like fire protection. This is only going to affect a couple line items.
Okay.
So you can't just say, oh, they're raising rates 50%, that our whole bill is going to go up 50%. No, it's just going to be those specific line items, and we're going to present that on the 28th.
Right.
I will also I'll put my bill online, and I'll break it down on how much mine's going to go up. If you don't want there's ways around it. You don't want your bill to go up, use less water. That's unrealistic.
Right.
But a lot of the ways that these kind of problems come about is that almost everything is more efficient now. Your dishwasher,
Right.
your shower head, your washing machine, everything is made to be more efficient, but at the same time, the cost to build the thing
Right.
didn't go down. So we have to be creative, and we're lucky. We got 5 bids for this. They were all way below what we anticipated to begin with. The crew is already there. They got their trailer up. MSA is about to put their trailer up. We got everything fenced off. We tried to set it up in a way where it wouldn't affect the Little League field, the 190 that's closest to there. There's going to be a lot of foul balls that end up in a construction zone. So make sure you buy a lot of baseballs.
I got you.
And then we'll collect them all at the end. We'll bring them over the next day. But that's the other thing too. It might affect the Little League baseball field a little bit,
Right.
but it won't affect the 270 and it won't affect the 250. So the 2 fields on the west. It should not affect parking or anything else down there. Most of it's going to be on the same footprint that exists now. So we're pretty excited to get that going.
Are residents going to see any issues with their current service as things are being built and shifting over?
Nope, not a bit.
Okay.
It's going to be, they said the most, it's going to be like 10 seconds at 1 in the morning, 3 years from now.
Right.
So we're not turning off our current facility until this one's completely up, tested, and running. So it's going to be, and that'll be in 2028 or 2029. Nothing in the next few years at all.
I appreciate that you have no worry that when you put your bill out there for people to see the breakdown, that they're going to see that you're a 3 shower and a bubble bath a day kind of guy. So we're
Now you're down to, just let's skip the bubble bath and just stick to the 3 showers.
there you go. There you go. Maybe bubble bath once every other day. Awesome. So that's good to know because that's something that we've been kind of keeping our eyes on, and I'm sure we'll get updates as the construction goes on how the progress is going.
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Historical Society, I love this. Living History Days, it's a great way to kind of reconnect with the city, learn a little bit more about the history of where you live, whether you're new residents or long-term residents. We usually have somebody from them on either Community Comment or Hometown Today to talk a little bit about what's going on. I'm sure they'll be coming up here soon. But give us some more information about that.
Yeah, our Horicon Historical Society, Lonnie and her team do so many great things for our city. Not only do they talk about the history of Horicon, but they do events all the time. And, anything from ice cream social, or they make the Satterley Clark House look amazing. But this is their big one, their Living History Days down at Riverbend. So yes, we're going to have this going on at Riverbend. At the same time, we're going to have a wastewater treatment facility being built, and baseball games, and people fishing, and
Right.
That's how it should be.
should be.
Right.
That's what a park is for.
Yes.
And the Living History Days, I wanted to talk about it now because by the time we're on the next time, it's going to happen before that.
Right.
So the Saturday, May 9th and May 10th, that Saturday, Sunday, that's when it's open to the public. But I think the coolest thing Lonnie and her team does is the May 8th, which is when it's open to the students. Horicon probably goes down there, but there's school districts from all over that come to Horicon History Days. We have to pass permits for this every year because they shoot cannons, and they throw axes, they throw knives. None of these things are going to affect anybody,
Right.
but we don't want anyone who's coming through town from Burnett to launch a boat and all of a sudden see this dude whip an axe at someone without understanding what it's all for.
Right.
So, and they have horses and all that kind of stuff down there. And they generally have to start using the park about a week before because it's a very large footprint. So like every other year, I think our residents know this already, but the park is pretty much closed other than to launch boats. I mean, they'll let you through, and people can still walk. It's just a little different. And when I say the park is closed, it's from where the loop starts, so it won't affect the baseball games or the tennis courts. So this is a big thing for our city. They advertise it very well, and they get very excited about it. And I think the city gets excited about it. We get a lot of people that come through. I live on the other side of town now instead of 200 yards away, and I can hear the cannons from where I live across town. But man, when I lived right behind Riverbend Park, that woke you up. So it's a big thing, and they do a great job. I want to give them the credit that they deserve and get people down there.
Next up, I see we want to talk a little bit about the DPW, and I guess I'm going to ask because we just had some major storms come through. I'm assuming your public works people were probably busy over the last couple of days.
Yeah, they're hammers. We were sitting out, I was actually out with the DPW director last night, and we were storm spotting. And we're both looking at different radar programs on our phone. I'm like, holy hell, this is going to miss us. It did. Everything stayed south. And
It's a nice feeling, right?
yeah, I feel bad for Watertown, Economowoc, or have it went north. You got Mauston, Union Center, and all those places that got hit to the north too, but it split us this time. Yeah. We were all, we were kind of prepared for another May 15th, 2025 day. But then we were telling ourselves, you know what? It's freaking middle of April.
Right.
This hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Knock on
Severe
wood.
Weather
Yeah.
Awareness Week.
It is, and we're supposed to have tomorrow. We have our tornado warnings that WEM and the emergency management at the county level put on. But yeah, a lot of that prepping, kind of took a detour because we did have quite a few trees that went down.
Right.
Trees on wires on Hubbard, on West Lake. There is damage. There was damage. We had a pine tree that fell down at Riverbend onto the tennis court. So I hope Daryl's not listening. But I think they brought that one down. Yeah, it's events like that kind of stop the prep.
Right.
But otherwise, we have our machines. They're in the process of converting them from winter into the spring. We don't buy specialized vehicles.
Right.
It's basically taking off the salt stuff, getting it ready for the summer stuff. One of the things we didn't expect to happen this early with this heat and this rain is that our lawnmowers have to start getting out, and we were hoping to get till at least the first week of May before we had to mow lawns, but we have lawns in Horicon that are 10 inches, mine
So,
included.
No more May.
We don't do no mow. We don't do the no mow May on our public lands. We want to, especially our baseball diamond. That thing's got to look tight.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Especially when, we were scheduled to have a game last night. That was my biggest heart attack, is that we were going to have a repeat of May 15th, but that didn't happen. We did push it off, which is good, or she did.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're prepped. We're ready, and I think everything's ready to go. They just had everything delayed because we had a brush pickup on Monday.
Right.
Pretty much guarantee we're gonna have a brush pickup on Friday again this week and again, because the storms aren't done.
No.
They're supposed to come today
maybe
and
Friday,
tomorrow.
depending on weather.
Yeah, we're thinking Monday for sure. We're gonna be doing brush pickup for a while.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you put the brush out for this week, and it'll go to the neighbor's yard for next week.
Yeah. Our guys work very hard, and I saw what they looked like last night after the last 2 days of work. Our guys are great. They know what to do. They do it well. They don't complain. They're up in the bucket truck cutting off a pine tree, fell onto a terrace tree. Terrace tree the city's responsible for.
Right.
So it's kind of like a double-decker collapse. They're just out there hammering. They work. They're great.
Shout out to the DPW. We love it.
Yep.
Last but not least, you got a little note on here about something that, of course, I don't think any of us are thinking about just yet, but right around the corner, the pool.
Horicons Aquatic Center. Yep. And passed the flyer at council last month. Pretty soon, I think they're going to have everything up, set up. We generally, to get into the Horicon Aquatic Center, the payment and all that stuff goes through the Y, even though you can buy pool passes down at City Hall. They prefer, you go through the Y's online
Right.
system. But yeah, that, and like I said, I'd like to talk more. I mean, we still meet again in May, and then I think we have June, July, and August, or June and July off from the show. And then I want to talk about next month about the summer events in Horicon in May.
We look forward to that.
And from there, I would turn this over to Katie and Mike.
All right, well, before we jump to Katie, I want to give you again a congratulations for re-winning your mayor's seat, and look forward to having you on when we roll into season 4.
Can't
of
wait
the
for season
show.
4.
There you go.
Thanks, Ninja.
All right, Katie, you're up. You and Mike. So what do you got for us today?
Yeah, we're really excited to be back. I'm excited to have Mike McCullovitz here with me, representing the Horicon Recreation Department. Speaking of elections, we did have 2 school board elections. Kyle Herring had been appointed, and now he is the newly elected member of the Board of Education. Also, Nathan Hodgson was reelected for another term. So I'd like to give a shout out to our school board. They are an incredible group of people who are very supportive of the school and do really hard work. And I really appreciate working with them. I love working for them, and I think they do great work for our kids. And so I'm proud to say now Kyle is the newly elected member, and I'm excited to get to work with these fine citizens that we have in Horicon representing our district. So one of the most difficult things that the board does is work on our budget. And it's really hard to believe that we're this far into the school year already, that it's time that we need to start saying, okay, time to look at how the budget's wrapping up for the year. Our fiscal year runs through the end of June, but as school winds down, most of our purchases are finished by this point in the year. So we're happy to say, while a lot can happen between now and June, but things seem to be on track. We did pass, we talked about this a few times on the show, we did pass a deficit budget in the fall. We do budget very conservatively, so things are on track and looking good so far. And of course, we're always hoping to come in a little better than we anticipated that for what we budgeted, and we'll be able to know. Again, some of the battles, and this has been in the local news a lot lately. The battles that school boards and communities have to fund schools.
Right. Which is a statewide issue.
Issue,
even.
and it's pulling at the heartstrings in Dodge County a little bit. And I have a few other things to talk about later in the show too. But When the state aid comes in a little lower, the burden of upholding the budget does fall on our local taxpayers, and that becomes important for us as leaders and as boards of education to make sure that we are as fiscally responsible and efficient as just Mayor Moss, you are too. That's part of the duty that's been entrusted to us. I have heard that there are some rumblings that the state may increase some of our special education reimbursement as it was originally planned. And that would be very impactful for our budget in a positive way. So I'm really hopeful that the legislators can come to some agreement on that. But either way, we have to make sure that we're taking care of students and all of the needs that students have. And so, as we look ahead for next year, some of the things we're working on is ensuring that we can be taking in as many open enrollments as possible, as are all other districts around us. The open enrollment window is open through April 30th, and so we do have some space limitations in various areas, but we also have procedures in place for working through waiting lists if that gets to be the case. And our board will be continuing to work on this and talking about it just to make sure that we can continue to meet the needs of our students within the district and also open opportunities from an open enrollment perspective if possible. So just continuing to work on that. And then again, as we look at next year, the hiring, we are in the full throes of hiring for the 26-27
Weird to think about that already, but yeah.
So we have the several contracts going to the board on Monday night, and I'm really, really excited about some of the high-quality people who are coming on board to work with us. We have an accepted offer, and the contract will go before the board on Monday for our new assistant principal and athletic director for the middle school, high school, as well as our head varsity football coach. And I am thrilled to be able to make that announcement on Tuesday morning to share with the community what direction we'll be moving in and how that will continue to benefit kids.
Awesome.
We will have a contract going to the board for a new fourth grade teacher. That is to replace a retirement. And then we had 2 retirements, as I spoke earlier, in the office admin assistant roles, and those will be presented to the board on Monday as well. And yet this week, we're continuing to do interviews for a few other positions for next year, including some special education positions, a speech and language pathologist, high school English, several paraprofessionals, and a cook position as well. And a few of those interviews will continue this week. But, one of the things that is really important to our strategic plan overall is making sure that we not only attract, but then retain and hire the most highly qualified, highly engaging people for our kids. And so the hiring process is very busy this time of year because there aren't as many people in the pool of candidates that we've had over the history of my career. And so when you find the right people, you want to be able to move on them and make sure that we can get, there's a book called Good to Great. We want all the right people on the bus, moving us in the right direction, right? So
I like it.
I'm excited for that to continue. And one of the more difficult concepts that we'll be talking about moving forward too is being very strategic and thoughtful about how we continue to partner with our neighboring districts to service kids. And I think those of us in the local community have understood the difficult situation that is happening in Husisford right now. And it is something that the local superintendents have been meeting on openly to be talking about, thinking about how we can best collaborate to meet the needs of kids wherever possible. And so I think it's time now for us to say we've been well aware of the situation. We want to be helpful and collaborative, and our boards are actively involved in strategic thinking and planning for the future. Wisconsin is a local control state, and that local control is critical in helping us to make decisions that are best for kids. the local control provides school boards with the decision-making authority to find pathways that best educate the students in the community. Right. And as those elected officials, that helps. We work as a team, and the board really is very thoughtful about the decisions they're making, both in the financial world, the facilities planning world, personnel, all of those factors. We need to be thinking about all of those things on a long-term basis. And I'm really proud of our school board for the commitment they've made in this area, but also understanding that all of the boards in our area are likely to start making some difficult decisions about how we move forward. And so part of that includes, like I mentioned, open enrollment and how we welcome kids into the community, how we continue to work through our existing cooperative agreements with other communities. We have co-ops with Hustisford. We have co-ops with Beaver Dam. Those all provide opportunities for students. And so while it's very emotional because all of us care deeply about where our own students, and I'll call all of our 776 kids my kids in the district too. It's a very emotional process, and also we have to be thoughtful and we have to be strategic. And so the school boards are the elected people in positions to make difficult decisions, and they do not take that lightly. They are very serious about that. So I just want to say that I'm happy and so proud to continue with working with our board, but also be clear that our board is also highly engaged in the process of working through the changes that are happening in the community, and will continue to do everything we can to provide the best possible opportunities for kids. So, and those opportunities come in a variety of ways. Coming up soon, that the last couple months of the school year are busy, very, very busy.
So there's always be a lot happening in the spring.
And I feel like every time I come on the air, I'm saying how busy we are. That's the nature of
good.
the school district also,
It's great to
right?
be busy.
But springtime is crazy, and then we have weather events that postpone ball games and things of that nature. So in the spring is the time that we also have all of our concerts, and we're thrilled to have our concerts coming up. Our elementary concert is April 28th, and those concerts are highly attended, and they take place in our elementary gym. Kindergarten through second grade will take place at 5 p.m., and then we kind of do a changing of the guard, and the people who can leave, the people with older kids stay, and then we shift around. And from about 5:45 on, we will have the concerts for third through fifth grade. The middle school and high school concert takes place for both band and choir on May 12th. And that is also combined with our art show. And the art show is for grades 3 through 12. If you have never been a part of that experience, it is a fantastic evening. The kids' best and greatest work is on display through their artwork, all the way from digital media through the physical pieces of art. And then you can attend the band and choir concert that's at 6 p.m. Really looking forward to that opportunity to see kids shine one more time, not one last time. There are never lasts, but one more time before graduation. And it is, you mentioned you have a senior.
I do.
I have a senior also. They're kind of coming into their last month of formal schooling.
They're all growing up on us.
So I think they're far more excited than we are.
Yeah.
And in the school systems, we kind of hit this panic as we come up to, not a panic, but things start moving pretty quickly at the end of the year. Kids are preparing for their finals, their AP tests that are coming up. One of the traditions that we've had in HorCon is that I, just as Mr. Apple did, I will meet with every single senior before they exit the school. And my first interviews are scheduled for April 27th. Each of the kids gets to sign up for a time, and we get some one-on-one time to talk about their experience in HorCon, what they loved, and quite frankly, to give us some feedback about moving forward.
You want them to be candid with you.
I absolutely want them to be candid. And I know that the kids take that very seriously, and I'm really excited for that opportunity to meet with them and get their feedback. So amid all of that, all of those kids are also taking part in all of their other activities like golf and baseball, softball, track. Our trap shooters have been very busy. I believe forensics has their state meet this, I think it's Friday this week. FBLA just got back from their state trip up to Green Bay, and our students did very well. I believe we have at least one group who will be making it to the national competition this summer. Science Olympiad will be doing their state tournaments. And again, that's just another way to say that all of this is going on simultaneously while we're asking them to make sure they finish the year academically strong. So kids are busy, and we're happy to be a part of that too. On May 12th, we will be working with our seniors. We'll take some buses to the cemetery, and they will be putting flags out to the cemetery in preparation for Memorial Day. So I'll be a part of that with our groups, taking our entire group of senior classmen out to the cemetery to do that important work in partnership with the American Legion. And for more community service, our track and field does service project with the Lions Club, and they go out to clean up garbage along Highway V on Earth Day. So awesome. in replacement for their practice that day, they will go out and clean up garbage and make sure that they're contributing back to the community as well. So I know I don't want us to run too short on time, so I'd like to switch some things over to Mike here. We work with the YMCA of Dodge County and partner with them to provide our recreation department. And Mike is our rec director.
Yes.
He does a lot of hard work for the community and is well loved by kids and adults alike. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for him to talk about all of the things that are coming up for summer for kids and adults in Horicon.
Yes, so we are ramping up here with summer coming, honestly. With that, I do want to say we are wrapping up our spring classes. I'll just kind of go with like a timeline of just kind of stuff we offer throughout the community to kids. And we even have a senior group that I'll mention here. But we're wrapping up our spring classes, which is indoor baseball, softball skills, and speed and agility. 5-week class, more or less just starts in March, just to get kids throwing, hitting, get a glove in their hand before, obviously it's usually too cold in March to get outside and do any of that. So we're wrapping up our last day with all of that tomorrow. Going with the senior group. They meet every Tuesday in, June, July, and August down at Disher Park from like 9 to 3 roughly. Various activities every week. So senior group is down there. If you're an elder or senior and looking for something to do, down there on Tuesdays.
And that's a way to keep active.
Correct. Yep. So a different event usually planned every Tuesday down there. I don't run that, but again, there's a different activity every week for that. And then just getting in the summer. So that's about to take off here. We participate in the dual county baseball and softball leagues. So with baseball, I think we have roughly around 60 boys signed up right now.
Nice.
And that'll run through May through July, playing teams out in the surrounding area. Along with softball, I think we have around 40 girls signed up. And their season's a little shorter, but June and July. Then kind of when that all wraps up, we will do a 2-day summer middle school football camp, usually sometime in July. And I'll have more information on that, obviously, with an announcement coming next week. On the new varsity coach, so maybe do some with collaboration with him as well. Kind of then once the school year starts back up, we get into the girls basketball league, which is October through December, and that's 3rd through 8th grade. Depending on numbers, sometimes we combine grades. That did kind of get a nice kickback last year with the girls programs. I think we had 3 teams.
That's great. We'll keep it growing.
Yes, so definitely some that was lacking a little bit, but it's strongly coming back. And then after they kind of wrap up, again in November then we'll have little dribblers, so kindergarten through 2nd grade, along with 3rd through 8th.
Love that name, by the way.
Little dribblers?
Yeah, that's great.
They're little, so
they're learning to dribble.
Yes. So see a lot of travels, but again, they're dribbling out there, so that's the whole point. Just get a ball in their hand. So that's also a 5-week program. starts early November, gets done before Christmas. Also with the skills and drills for 3rd through 8th grade girls and boys at the same time. Usually a random day of the week, but one day a week for about 5 weeks. And that'll wrap up before the holidays. And then after the holidays, we come back, and then we start the Boys Travel League, and theirs runs through January through February. Again, it's the ESYBL, so it's basically just a league. You'll travel somewhere every Saturday, play 3 games, about a 6-week thing. You get roughly 20 to 25 games. And then that'll take us kind of into February, and then it kind of just starts the cycle over where I started with the spring classes, indoor baseball and softball. And then kind of with all that as well, we do have pickleball Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 at the rec center in Horicon. That will kind of start shifting to outdoors. We do have 4 courts down at Disher Park now.
Right.
They just like to get outside once they can. But in the winter and fall, and I would say even spring right now, it's pretty busy every morning. So there's people waiting to play. So we do have a craft fair actually this Saturday at the rec center at 611 Mill Street in Horicon. We're going to act as a fundraiser for the rec program, but that'll run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. again this Saturday. Another program failed to mention, we did start a girls cheer and dance last winter. And with those girls, they practice a few times a week, and then we kind of coordinate to have them just do a halftime show at either a girls or boys varsity basketball game. So that was actually a pretty big hit.
It's very well received.
I think we had like around 50 girls signed up. So
That's cool.
that was awesome. And then going back to with the pickleball, I do run like random tournaments that act as fundraisers, typically in the winter, but just it's on a Saturday. Just an easy way to just kind of bring in some revenue for the rec, just to maintain equipment and just stuff for the rec center. What else we got here? So I think, Katie, you mentioned before, we are in partnership with the YMCA. If you're ever looking for registration, again, we do use the YMCA website for that. And that's where you can kind of find programs, which leads me to most of my stuff is posted on the Horicon Recreation Facebook page, along with the YMCA of Dodge County Facebook page. We do make announcements at the school, try to send stuff out in Thursday folders for those young kids, and then emails for like middle school students. I don't know how often they see those, but we send them out.
They get them.
Yes, they get them. So kind of with that, that was kind of like full circle in a nutshell. Everything that we kind of offer, and there's just kind of odds and ends stuff that happen throughout the year, but it's going well. So it's been here for about 1.5 years, and it's going really well. And with that, I do want to, before I do forget, I wanted to say thank you to the Horicon School District office, the high school office, middle school, elementary, as I call them, my work moms. Very friendly environment. They kind of help me out with anything I need or questions, even just getting like stuff printed out or anything like that. So those ladies are amazing. Have always helped me out. And then with that, also the maintenance staff, I kind of work firsthand with them as well. Brian Berggren and his staff. I mean, we collab with them, just kind of, especially now, just keeping all baseball fields and just making sure everything's ready to roll for spring and summer. I also work hand in hand with the Department of Works, which I know Mayor Moss mentioned before. And then also all my volunteer coaches. So rec programs coaches don't get paid. And without volunteers, nothing happens. So I've been very blessed to have great volunteer coaches and then everyone else involved. And then lastly, my YMCA staff. So technically, I guess they are my employer. But Dirk, the CEO over there, and my reporting boss, Ellie, awesome people to work with. I couldn't ask for, I guess, Ellie, better boss. She's always been there. So she's been
great.
Yeah, she's great. And then also the rest of the directors there as well. So I don't see them often, maybe once a week if we have our meeting, but always welcome me with open arms. So
Perfect.
working with a lot of great people.
I know Dirk very well. We once got him to plank for the entire 27 hours of our children's radiothon. So,
Nice. Yep.
got abs
Doesn't
like you
surprise
wouldn't
me.
believe.
27 hours
Yeah,
of planking.
it was great. You did a phenomenal job. That's awesome. And if somebody, again, if they want more information about the rec department, about the programs going on, you said the YMCA of Dodge County website or the Facebook page for the Horicon Rec Department?
Correct. Or you can just call the YMCA of Dodge County and ask. And, they have access to everything that I do. So
Awesome. I appreciate you guys have so much going on, especially keep those kids active. And,
Yes.
For those who are maybe thinking their kid's going to be a future, high school football, baseball, softball star, whatever, getting those young kids working on those fundamentals early is really important.
That's right.
Correct.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
Do we have one or two more minutes?
We do.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Run through what you
have
got.
a couple of community events going on through the chamber coming up that are really exciting. For the first time, they'll be having a Women in Business networking meeting at Open Door Coffee House with the Dodge County Chamber of Commerce. That'll be April 28th from 7:30 until 9:30 in the morning. Great opportunity for people to network. In the month of May, the chamber is also having a Marsha the Marsh Monster Drawing Contest. And so working with the Blue Heron Landing in Horicon, and the contest is open for ages 3 to 18 plus, trying to kind of develop a mascot and just developing a little bit of fun with that. And the golf outing for the chamber is June 3rd at Horicon Hills. I'm also plugging the golf outing for the foundation, which will take place on August 16th. So two big and great opportunities to provide some support for different avenues in the Horicon and greater area. Our foundation also has a new opportunity for people who might want to give little bits at a time through a piggy bank giving process. And so those piggy banks can be picked up at Ace Hardware and as well as the school district office, Horicon Bank. You plug in the piggy bank, and then you can take the piggy bank over to Horicon Bank, who will, without fees, deposit that into the account directly. So there's very little running around that anyone would have to do, and that gives people opportunities to give back small bits at a time as they have it. So
Better than putting all that change in the couch. Put it someplace for good.
yes. We just really are blessed in our community to have lots of people working together, all to support our local community from bigs to littles, and I think that's really important.
That is really important. And you guys timed that out pretty much perfectly as we are getting ready to wrap up the show. A few things I want to highlight and remind people of. Rec Department, you guys got that craft fair going on this Saturday?
Correct.
9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Rec Department?
Yep, 611 Mill Street.
There you go. So make your way over there. Craft fairs are great. I love them. And this time of year, they're even better. I also want to highlight, of course, coming up in the city of Horicon, the Living History Days, May 9th and May 10th. Get out there and check it out. It's really cool.
Riverbend Park.
I mean, if the word cannons didn't make you want to go out there, I don't know what else will. So highly worth checking that out again coming up May 9th and 10th. And, of course, we got to show a lot of love for those kids who put in so much hard work. We've got those spring concerts coming up, the elementary school happening on the 28th, 5 p.m. for the K through 2, and the 3rd through 5th grades after that. And, of course, the art show coming up on May 12th. I have a couple of kids who are art kids, so I'm always going to push the art shows. That also is coinciding with the high school band and choir concert.
And one more thing I didn't mention before we meet again: high school commencement is May 16th.
Goodness gracious.
That's early.
At Sword Field, unless the
Yeah.
weather is bad, then we'll be inside. But I was just looking ahead at my calendar.
Yeah.
We don't meet. We will again be on the radio after commencement. So inviting our entire community to celebrate the graduating class of 2026, and that's May 16th at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So it's coming faster than we can keep track.
It always seems to do so, and I'll preemptively congratulate all those seniors on completing their educational series there at Horicon, and wish them all the best as they go on to future endeavors. As always, Michael, I want to thank you for coming on. Katie, always a pleasure. Josh, again, we could be clones. This has been a paid program. Advice and opinions expressed on the program are solely that of the City of Horicon and the Horicon School District, not necessarily WBEV or Good Karma Brands.